And I do want to share a bit of a conversation that really is inspired by what Mark Grote just talked about. He said players are mad that they lost to the Packers last week. It was technically last calendar week. I feel like I can say that. But when you talk about the NFL weeks, then that implies the Browns. The point is it's recently.
You're confusing me right now.
It's the Sunday before last.
Okay, I can roll with that.
All right, so Sunday before last, they're mad from that game. They stayed mad from that game. And they kept that same energy when I saw a great crowd at Moretti's in Edison Park for Football After Dark on Tuesday night. It was Noah Sewell who came out, and he was fantastic. Noah, linebacker, of course, for the Bears. He's up to 57 total tackles. His season high was 11 against the Cowboys. He had 10 against the Vikings. He stepped up when we see, as we talked about it with Mark Grote, an injured linebacking core has not always been at 100%. And the crowd was great at Moretti's in Edison Park. Brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing and Remy Martin. We couldn't have had a better group for this. It was a fun vibe, and Noah came in with that energy. When we started talking to him immediately, the first thing he said was, blank the Packers, except it wasn't a blank. So that's where they're at with this.
Probably wasn't the word love either.
No, it was not. They are still very much mad that they lost that game. And I think that is a good energy to keep. You know, Ben Johnson, we ask all the time, is he petty? How does that filter out to the rest of the team? And that fired up nature that we saw is there. Like when I talked to Noah the whole time for like about an hour that we had him about the loss to the Packers, about the attitude of the team now compared to, you know, when he was here, when he was drafted in 2023, you can tell that this is a game that is absolutely the thing that is motivating them and they're thinking about in every, I would assume, waking free moment based on how I talk to him.
I want to know what his vibe was in terms of going from being maybe a guy who's getting interviewed to there's fans. So you're interacting with fans as well.
Well, and that was part of it. We had great questions from the fans. There were some times, because it's Football After Dark, you can speak a little more freely. So there were some earmuff moments for the kids. Kids don't cuss like that in public.
Wait, there were kids there?
Yeah.
Like what age kids would you guess?
I would say from about 8 or 9.
And they were listening to I guess nothing worse than you would hear in an actual game, right? Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I mean, and that happens. And hey, it's Football After Dark. They're with their parents, so their parents can tell them what they feel like. It was a wonderful conversation with Noah. It wasn't just about that. He also just, again, reiterated, you can tell how much the players who are not new to the team this year, I got to talk to Deshaun Wright, he wasn't here last year, how much they believe in Ben Johnson and the coaching staff, how much he likes Dennis Allen, and Deshaun Wright, of course, echoed that. Dennis Allen drawing up blitzes for people is a love language, you know, trying to utilize their strengths and motivate them in different ways, and that's been also something that we've seen take place.
Wow. That sounds fun, but it also sounds very informative.
It really was. And Noah Sewell also let us in on some information.
What you got?
Number one, apparently it was the Bears' offensive line who convinced Ben Johnson to take his shirt off.
Wait. In real time, or this is something they had been getting on him about for a while?
In real time. They were the ones who egged him on.
Wow. Okay, so maybe this was not a Ben Johnson decision. Maybe this is a Ben Johnson coercion. Is that fair?
He also said that he thought that Ben Johnson had been working out for the moment.
Oh, my goodness. So this is a true story where he's like, all right, I got about a month or so to get these together.
So it may have been the fact that they were coercing him or egging him on for a while. But the Bears offensive line, especially when we're talking about Drew Dahlman, who should be in the Pro Bowl, and Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney, who probably might be in the Pro Bowl. I'm like, guys, whatever you say, listen to these people.
You're taking me down a rabbit hole.
Darnell Wright.
The Ben Johnson news is taking me down a rabbit hole because now I'm wondering, was he on a cut, like an active cut, since the day that he was asked by the Wiener Circle, you know, if you do this, we'll feed the city? He's like, all right, I need to really watch what I eat from now on. Like, has this been an ongoing thing to get to this point in which his shirt comes off?
Here's the issue. We're not going to learn that from Ben Johnson.
I think we will. I think if you ask Ben Johnson straight up.
Like, did you have a workout and diet plan before you you reach that pivotal moment in the locker room.
It's not even that hard. It's just, did you change anything after you understood that if you took your shirt off, people would be fed?
Because we knew he worked out.
He
a
already
lot.
works out. That's what I'm
Ryan
saying.
Poles talked about that from like the very moment he hired him. He talked about his weight room routine and how it seems to kind of match that intensity. So that was courtesy of Noah Sewell. And then he also, Noah's story about growing up in Samoa and then coming here with his family when he was a child is really moving. The Athletic actually has a really good story from 2019 before he got to Oregon, where he wanted to play with his brother Panay and they didn't get to because of the pandemic. If you want to check it out, it's a really informative article and talks a lot about just the family moving together. He's one of 5 kids, and he's the youngest of 5, 4 brothers and 1 sister. And he talked about how he thought that he was going to get to play in Oregon, never thought that he would end up in the same division as his brother Panay, who plays for the Lions. And then he told us that he wants to get a trick play in. He's like, you do it for my brother. Why can't you do it for me? So are we on the watch, guys? Are we on the lookout for a possible Noah Sewell trick play this weekend?
I would love that. I'd bring back the trick plays. I'm mad that, who was it that got cut? The cut block. Remember where Caleb Williams ends up throwing a touchdown, but obviously it was designed to go to an offensive lineman. That was just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, when Ben Johnson said when Theo Benedict was
yes, he was the number one read.
He goes, that was a big man touchdown. And then he goes, I was about to say fat man touchdown. And I'm like, but didn't you just say fat man touchdown?
No, he's saying I am aware that my language matters, and I'm going to say big man as opposed to fat man.
It's like I said when it comes to protect. When did heavy go out of style?
I love heavy.
Amen. So wonderful conversation with Noah Sewell. Talked about his family, what his dad meant to him. His dad was a football coach who moved because he knew their family moved to the States because they knew they had potential to end up playing football professionally. And it's worked out in an incredible way. And he said that his dad still texts him and his brother before every single game. A message of motivation and to fire them up. So just a wonderful conversation with Noah. He had advice to the kids too. He said, if somebody tells you not to do something that's not true, you can do it. And he talked about his size because he plays at a bigger size for a linebacker and how hard he worked to get to this point. So it was just a fantastic moment with Noah. And yes, can confirm that they are still very mad about that loss to the Packers. Soldier Field is going to be so much fun on Saturday night. And a trick play, if they run a trick play that works, I can't even imagine what that atmosphere is going to be like.
As long as they win, Leila. As long as they win.
Here's the thing. Saturday night, everybody's going to be out.
Lathered up, as they say.
The city's going to be drunk no matter what the result of the game is.
Things could go really, really well or really, really poorly, or both. Or both.
The friend game plan. Like, just know you're not getting a Bears video Saturday night, okay? There's only so much I can do.